As it stands, South Africa is the most, should I say, corrupt country in Africa with the highest crime rate. You see, I tell people this before you come for a country, do your homework about your country. Know very well. Forget about how bloggers like to spread bad news. Of course, you know that bad news sells faster than good news. If our bloggers would dwell on the things that are happening that are good in Nigeria, I tell you for free, none of you will see anything bad to talk about Nigeria. But it's obvious our bloggers, they love to talk about bad things, negative things. The only good thing our bloggers could not talk about, but later saw that they needed to talk about it because they needed the numbers. All they are looking for is money. Nigerian bloggers, 97% of Nigerian bloggers love to pass out only bad news, just so they don't know what they are doing to the image of Nigeria. Now, when one of our music producer and star actress, Ekene Umenwa, got married, you saw the way they did not ignore her wedding. Nobody talked about it. Even as they talked about she's a good Christian, she kept herself, she didn't mess up herself with guys in the industry. She's a very good girl. The husband, hit jackpot. Nobody had to. They did spread that kind of news. Immediately, Ekene knelt to greet a minister a song minister, Mrs. Bliss. The whole thing, people, it was trending on Facebook. The next, it started trending on Instagram. Before you know it, on X and all, it trended. They were forced to post that good news, but because it has a negative undertone, which people were talking about and trying to analyze. Look at what happened in South Africa, where a police officer, the other day, a police officer, a 45-year-old police officer, unalived his wife, a 40-year-old woman, because the wife asked him not to bring a side chick into their home. He unalived her. Now, just yesterday, a female police officer was arrested for unaliving 6 people and claiming their insurance. How can people be this? Is it how you people just go about unaliving people? Like, the funny thing in all of this is that you can hardly even hear in Nigeria somebody unalived another person. As in, is bad. It's something that is done. In fact, when they discover it, everybody frowns at it. But it seems like you guys just take pleasure in doing it. You unalive people. When they were saying that in the whole world, South Africa is number 3 in crime, I was thinking, okay, maybe it's media propaganda. But when you go to, I never used to pay attention to South African news. I must be honest here, because I didn't have any need. From the time, in fact, what even drew my attention to South Africans was when they started doing this xenophobia against Nigerians. That even made me, but I never paid too much attention to it until the recent war between Chidinma and the South Africans. How on earth did somebody living in your country become identity theft? You guys left from identity theft. So I started becoming interested. And like the YouTube algorithm will always show us what we talk about and what we love to watch, or what we have even spent our time watching in a couple of days. They will always send it to you as notification. Of course, I'll click on it to watch. The news from South Africa had not been splendid at all. One would think, okay, it's still media propaganda. But when 5-10 studio stations are talking about the same thing, and then the annoying part is how one of the relatives came out and talked about that this lady, the lady police officer, will come to their house, showed love for the brother, and they thought they were good. And she showed up for them whenever they needed her assistance, not knowing that. And the way this guy died was mysterious, because they just called them and said they found his dead body somewhere. They should come pick it up and take it to the morgue. Or rather, they have taken it to the morgue. And now they need to bring out a lot of people. They need to do the investigation. Do you know the good thing I love about the police force is that they had to get a very, senior and experienced investigator to go into it. Maybe the guy is also very good in forensic, and then he went into it. And then they have said that let all this insurance body make a very open platform where they can always interface and also use to monitor. They should sync other, with the police and other investment platforms where they can see those who are perpetrating this kind of madness. It doesn't make sense. Every day you wake up and see news of South Africans unaliving people, and you think it's a good thing. No, That shouldn't be something that we should be proud of. The last time I talked about we looking at ourselves as Africans and fighting the common enemy, which is our leaders, the politicians who sit down to eat fat. You people said, no, we don't need you here. Julius Malema tried to say, see, so the other African countries are not your problem. We need to sit down and put our heads together to hold our leaders accountable so that, how do you expect us to be happy when a man sat as president for 42 years? That's before some of us, our parents even thought of conceiving us, like me, before my mother even thought of giving birth to me. 42 good years, a man sits as president of Cameroon, and you guys think it's okay? Are they practicing what kind of government should I even call it? Are they like the UK where they have a particular family ruling for life? No, that is really sad. So South Africans, please, when next you want to come for Nigeria, know your onions. Know that your own slate is clean, because I have never seen a people who has so many filth being disrespectful over against a country that fed them during apartheid, a country that stood for them when they had nobody to stand for them, a country that went to schools, boarding schools in Nigeria, who could afford 3 square meals, to cut it down to 2 so that they could save up 1 to send to South Africa and also feed the South Africans who ran to Nigeria for safety. You should also know your laws. You should know your history to a certain point, that there are some African countries you should never disrespect. You guys, somebody has said it, that you guys are very disrespectful. I never understood it until I saw all of the nonsense you guys do online. The news is everywhere. You guys are so, oh my God, I don't even know the words to use. You disrespect Nigerians at every given opportunity, yet your girls are in Lagos flaunting themselves, around Nigerian men. Your girls are into powder business. Your men are lazy. They do nothing other than crime. Now your women are into crime. Oh my God. In Nigeria, for ladies to be into crime, you must have been you must have been somebody they've written off. That kind of stuff. A regular woman who has a job cannot just go into crime in Nigeria. We have traditions that checkmates all of those things. Then you wake up and disrespect Nigeria, a country that is bigger than you in everything. I don't blame all of you. I don't blame all of these South Africans who come for Nigerians. I blame our government. I blame Tinubu. I blame Buhari, who sat down to crumble our economy the way it is. I blame them, because if things worked out as we would have thought, or we wanted it to work out, you cannot stand before us. It's a case of when a man stands outside to scold his children, he's teaching the outsiders how to treat his children. It's a case of when a man cannot take care of his wife, another man will want to take care of the wife and disrespect the man by trying to sleep with the wife. That's just exactly what our government have done to us. That a Tom, Dick and Harry will insult us, disrespect us? No. Just recently, you guys went looting Nigerian businesses and other foreigners' businesses. You guys are so lazy, you do not own your own business. So whatever happens, you throw tantrums, call us, go back to your village, go back to your country, yet you cannot stand up to do what is right. Just recently, another news broke. How you South Africans pay bribe through sex to be able to get contracts from government. That is mind-boggling. And I think you should clean your mess before coming for Nigerians, because we are far above whatever you are trying to do. We have left you behind, in case you don't know. You guys come online looking malnourished. You are hungry. Lusiki community is still going through a lot of things. And the Limpopo community, where the police officer was apprehended, look at how the environment looks. You guys are suffering. You should go for the white South Africans who came to take over your country, not Nigerians. Why do you hate the blacks so much? Yet you welcome the white. Is that not why the whites keep keeping you where they are? People who came and built a country inside your own country using their own currency, not increasing your own economy, and you guys are coming for Nigeria. You better stop it. Stop it now.